Yo, what's up, guys? Please back and with another awesome video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about Amazing Little Circus. So, as you all know, the series finale for the Amazing Little Circus has come. Super emotional. I liked it. Maybe a little overhyped, but I liked it. I'm here to talk about an alternate universe that not a lot of people have talked about. I think, or anybody has talked about. I think, and it's the Insane AU. Now, this alternate universe is actually an alternate universe I've become very interested over the past month. So, or past 2 months. So, I think I'm going to give you a. And today, since no one's really talking about this alternate universe, I am officially going to give a. No. So angry. Oops. I'm going to give a deep dive into the the Amazing Little Circus Insane at You. The creator, the creator is Tails and Friends. Go and subscribe to them on YouTube and follow them on TikTok because I make some really good content. Now let's get straight into it. Now, as you can tell here, this is Pomni, and she has a very different design from her original universe. So, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Now, the words are a little, my camera quality isn't the best, but, I'll just read the words since you guys can't. Or at least paraphrase them. And that Pomni's basically the newest member of the Digital Circus, and, it's a game that trapped other humans, Ragatha, Jax, Yangle, Zubul, and Kinger. Pomni learns from Jax that the circus was normal and active till the Ringmaster Kane got corrupted by something and it broke the game. Pomni notices how mentally unstable the members are, mostly Kinger and Jax. Pomni tries to be there for everyone, like Second Ragatha. She quickly comes accustomed to their home, to this new home, but that doesn't mean she has to like it. Now down here, we have light green, dislike red, and neutral blue. Now, you guys probably can't see it, but for green, in this universe, it's actually, while it's also canon that Pomni likes Ragatha in this universe, it appears Jax in this universe is also in the green, meaning she and Jax have a great friendship in this universe. Which, I think it's cool. Like a good actual friendship between Pomni and Jax. It's cool. And then half of the circle here is green, and the other half is blue. And why is it half and half? Well, we'll get to Gangle and show you why. And Zubul's also green, and Kinger's neutral. There's a more detailed version of Pomni. She is very different from her original universe. It kind of looks like pajamas. Now, Ragatha is mostly the same in her design, I think. But except she's missing her butt and eye. Now, she's basically the mother of the group. But in this universe, she also hallucinates centipedes, which makes her really anxious and has tiny episodes, I guess. Yeah, so she's basically mostly the mother figure to Jackson and Gangle, And now, there's nothing too different about Ragatha else. except that in a later involving Kinger, like it says here, she doesn't mind Kinger's near insanity. It seems to try and be there for him to keep him calm, showing that how mentally unstable Kinger is. And her butt and I was ripped out during an incident, which we'll get to later. That's a more detailed version of her. Now, Jax, you can very easily tell that this is not your normal Jax. It says here is the most mentally unstable member besides Kinger. He has a teddy bear here. His name's Ricky, which, spoiler, has Ribbit's bow on it, which he usually is seen talking to it like it's alive. And he zones out for hours talking to it if nobody comes to snap into reality. Now, here's an other interesting thing about this AU, is that Queenie actually stayed a lot longer than she did in the original show. Now, this AU was probably made before episode 8, so this creator didn't have full context of the full story of the musical circus before she wrote this, but Queen stays a lot longer in this. Stayed a lot longer in this AU. By the way, Ragatha likes everybody, but half likes and half dislikes Gangle. Yeah, so this teddy bear was a gift from Queenie, a now deceased member of the circus, who acted like a mother to him. Yeah, so Queenie was basically the motherly figure for Jax in this universe. And it's a role that Ragatha took shortly after she abstracted. And, Zool tries to take, Ricky away from him to, help Jax. And again, in this universe, he actually is really good friends with Pomni and Ragatha. I know you can't really see the text very well, but yeah. He doesn't mind Gangle, but he hates Kinger. So, he likes and Ragatha and Pomni, half likes Gangle and half neutral Zubul, and hates Kinger. Now, you can look at him and see how mentally unstable he is. He is very mentally unstable. Now, Gangle has a really cool design. Like, she has her Connie mask and tragedy mask in for two separate heads, which represent her split personality disorder in this universe, and a snake-like body. I think that's a cool design. Now, again, Todd was basically giving the description of her looks, and basically the tragedy mask is her self-esteem, telling her how bad she is. And she's basically become annoyed by this mask. Usually around Zubul or Ragatha because they treat her nice, but they're also Pomni. Gale doesn't mind Jax anymore because he's stopped being mean to everyone. Showing that, Jax has, gone, actually started to, actually in a way, this is a clue to giving it something we'll learn later, a lot more about later, in that Jax's mask, his mean mask, his false personality, has shattered in this universe. Like Pomni, like Ragatha, neutral Jax, like Zubul, and neutral Kinger. Again, now it's more detailed. I like the design. That was a cool design. Now, there's not really much change to Zubul except that crack on her face. Now, it's really just the description. Basically, the newest member besides Pomni. They also appear to arrive after the break, which we'll get more into that later. And Pomni was the latest. Zubul's most mainly same member, except Pomni. Like to be around Gangle and Ragatha, but like Pomni as well. Nothing much than that. He just trying to avoid his insanity as much as possible. They're annoyed by Jack's obsessed with talking to a teddy bear, but is worsening his mental health. Zubul usually tries to take the bear away from him, not to cause problems, but to help him. Now this is also a very big difference. As you can see, that Zubul actually has compassion for Jax, and her helping Jax is not really normal. She absolutely despises Jax on the show. Like again, like Gangle, regular Pomni, neutral Jax, and half neutral and half dislike Hinger. So yeah, there's already a lot of big changes in the universe. Like Pomni taking up a bit of a motherly role to the circus crew. Gangle's like snake like Potty affecting her like split personality disorder. Not much changes between Zubul and Ragatha, but Jax is so different. Like so different. We'll get into more of Jax's description later. Again, more detailed response. Now, Kinger, you can tell how crazy he is. He basically up top here is basically just giving you a description. His design isn't too different. He's a bit more banged up. Basically, he's the most mentally unstable person, and he's locked in his room to force him from hurting others when he has episodes. Mostly Jax, because he hates Jax. And it's revealed here that Kinger blames Jax for Queen's abstraction. So he continually attacks him because he thinks he killed his wife. And in rare times where he isn't aggressive, he's very sweet and kind to everyone except Jax. Here has a special for I think her as a best friend or figure. You're like Siang Zul, but doesn't even remember Pommy that so he has no opinion on her. So yeah, he just does not know Pommy exists at all. So yeah, he hates Jax, neutral to Pommy and Zubul. Likes Yangle and likes Ragatha. Yeah. Again, he is more crazy than he is in the show. Now, Kane is basically just crashed. He is no longer working. Kane.exe has shut down. And basically, now I think this AU was before like episode 8, so yeah, so it's basically like this whole AU is what if like the whole circus crashed, how the characters would react to this, the crashing the game. But yeah, Kane's out for the count. So yeah, so in this AU, the abstracted are running loose. They had to lock them in their rooms, and yeah, this whole crash took a mental toll on everyone. A lot. They can't even heal in this universe. Again, that's just Kane crashing, and Bubble's just trapped in Kane's half forever. So yeah, that's just there's that. So as you can see, there was a lot of differences between the characters. Now we are just going to here. We're looking at some drawings she made. As you can see here, Bonnie is handing Jack's plate of spaghetti. He happily accepts. They actually seem like good friends in this AU. Or heard you like spaghetti, so me and I made some for you. And he actually seems very happy to be around Bonnie. Now you can see Daniel's charity match taunting her. Still making sure she's away from Kinger. And you can see here, Kinger like trying to attack Jax, and Zubul, Ragatha, and Pomni try to stop him. As you can see here, Jax is terrified of Kinger. Now we're gonna get more into the conflict later, but I just want to tell you guys that these two do not get Kinger and Jackson's universe do not get along at all. Now see Ragatha trying to comfort Kinger, and you can see here that by his like sketches here, this is showing people that Jax's mask has broke. It's shattered. He is he is he is no longer hiding his emotions. Now, I get my camera quality is bad, but yeah, sorry. See here, I don't know if you guys can see the shaky lines around Jax, but he's shaking. showing that he's now vulnerable. See, so with Ragatha, this is a big difference between the, the original AU and this AU is that Jax actually doesn't want to distance, doesn't exactly want to see, doesn't seem to want to distance himself from anyone. He actually enjoys comfort. He actually does like hang out with people. He likes to be around people. Actions. I can see here the differences. Original AU on the right, same AU on the left. Not much to add there. And you can see her Pommy in this universe is more energetic than she is in the original show. And she balls. And she just drinks coffee in this universe. That's just a niche. She Clear just did. The pigtails longer. I know my camera is kind of bad. Maybe I should zoom in a bit. Again, she's more energetic in this universe than in the original. Again, that's just Kane kind of crashed. That's just Jax. Now, this very clearly shows how deeply Jack's been affected by this crash. And we're gonna do a few look over a few quick questions and answers from this TikTok account, just to show off more of the dynamics between these characters. But after that, we're gonna go to Tales and Friends YouTube channel and look at some videos of the CNU. Actually, first of all, we're gonna look at this first. CNU Rivet passed. Now, see, Rivet is pretty sad here. Jack's basically asking if she's okay. She's a little aggressive here. Maybe should zoom in. What do you want, Jax? I've been worried about you. Why is everyone suddenly worried? Suddenly concerned? Nothing has ever happened. You just seem very tense. If you're having a bad day or... Rivet says, I'm not going to be babied. And Jack says, no one's babying you, Rivet. Actually, everyone's attacking you. Fine. I'm frustrated, okay? Someone be left alone for a second here. And, she kind of snaps Jax. And, she feels bad and says, sorry, I'm just going to take a nap. She feels bad for what she said at Jax. Seems kind of sad. And Jax kind of goes to check up on her. Baby, are you okay? You're gone for a bit. And then she opens her door to find out she's distracted. And so he cries. He's sad and scared. Says, it's okay, we can fix this. And then basically Ribbit just starts attacking Jax, and she does some permanent damage to his eye. And so she gets sent. Ribbit gets down to the cellar. Okay, your eye. You can see here. It's up down the cellar. Kane tries to fix him. His eye. He can't. No, she left some permanent damage on Jax. You can see here his mental state. He's pretty fucked. So, unlike the original universe, this probably wasn't made before episode 9, but it appears that unlike his original counterpart, Jax didn't bully Ribbit into abstracting. Ribbit just got sick and tired of the world around her, and she basically